From a basketball phenom in the city of Springfield to a four-time NBA champion and a Finals MVP, Andre Iguodala has cemented his spot in NBA history. I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to sit down with Andre to recap his career and everything he has planned for post-retirement. Here is that interview. I just want to start off. You just announced your retirement last week. Talk to me about. I saw you said it was just the right time. When did you know? Was it during last season? Was it something that kind of came to your head in the off season?
Yeah, I knew years ago that I needed to retire. It's been a fun ride, and 19 years is a long time. Had some great conversations with some mentors, folks I look up to that have been retired for quite some time. You know, you're talking about Aaron McKee, Dale Curry, Steph's father. Had some really good conversations with those gentlemen. But some of the business things that I had going on as well, I just thought it was the right time. Really wanted to get to that side of the business and just really bask in it and use all my time there. I'm more busy now than I was ever playing basketball. And so I got to figure out what balance means, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, take me back to the beginning when you were here in Springfield. When did you fall in love with basketball? Who kind of put that ball in your hands for the first time?
Yeah, basketball's been loved from a very, very young age. We're going back to like age 4 or 5, possibly. We go back a long ways. And my mother and uncle, Uncle Bug, Sam Fields, got me into basketball. It was on a lot. Perfect timing with Michael Jordan and Fab Five, who, that's what I lived and died for. A competition, having an older brother, always competing against him. So, kind of perfect timing with my energy and how I am. My kids have the same crazy, energetic personalities. And, I couldn't stop moving. So sports were my outlet.
I wasn't here to witness, that Lanphier team, but I was actually just watching highlights yesterday. Talk to me about how special that team was.
Yeah, that was, being from Springfield, you have a close affinity to a high school or to an athlete that's very successful coming from Springfield. So growing up, I had those guys, whether it was Jeff Walker, Leonard Walker, Victor Chukwudebe. There were some, there were those individuals who really gave me this grand vision of dominating basketball, not just on a city level, but on a state level. And that's kind of how I grew up. Like, being in middle school, saying I want to be the best high school player in my class by the time I'm a junior, senior. And then, meeting Richard McBride changed my life as well, being that he was very, very serious. He showed me what being serious about basketball was. He didn't have any weaknesses in his game. And I was able to see what I needed to work on. And so it was like a perfect storm going to Lanphier, teaming up with him, being with Coach Patton, being with with Juice, also Lawrence Thomas. Lawrence Thomas is one of those individuals who saw the potential in me at a very young age. I think he might have been the first one to tell me that I could go somewhere. I didn't think it would be the NBA, but I just wanted to dominate high school basketball, and it was just very blessed to be able to have done that.
When you left high school, did you expect all this success?
Well, the key for me was just to get to college and like stay there. There's this misconception that, athletes from where we come from, they don't get all the way through college. And that was a key for me to get there. And the only way I would leave there would go to the next level. There was a fear of being back home and not finishing school or not completing the goal and what I set out to do. And I felt like Arizona was a perfect place for me. It was far enough away where I couldn't be distracted or I couldn't end up back home. And not to say there's something wrong with home, but that was just a journey that was needed for me. And it was a great experience being under one of the best coaches in college basketball history, learning the game, the fundamentals. And I noticed how great he was once I was able to get to the next level.
Mm-hmm. Now that you've retired, what are some of your post-career plans? What's kind of down the line for you?
Yeah, so my post-career plans have already started. They've been in place for quite some time. You talk about tech investing. I've been in Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area, last 10 years. This is, like home to me now. And, Silicon Valley, where the the top tech companies have been built here. You look at Apple, you look at Meta, which is Facebook. How the markets move are based on 4 or 5 stocks, and majority of that talent came from this area. So been investing in the space, started my own VC firm, venture capital firm, where we invest in startup companies from pre-seed, seed, Series A side, and learning the businesses and how they scale, how they're impactful, how they making them more efficient, making them more inclusive, making sure that African Americans, females, Latinx, those backgrounds who haven't been able to participate in this arena are getting those opportunities with the access that I have with the platform that I was able to build off championships with the Warriors.
And talk to me about your podcast. I know you guys are heading into season 3, correct? You just started. Talk to me about that, what people can expect from, that podcast.
Yeah, the podcast is a lot of fun. It's this therapeutic. It's a learning experience. We're trying to teach a lot. We're also having fun. Myself and my co-host, Evan Turner, he does an incredible job of balancing, having fun, but those teaching moments, as an athlete, the things that we go through that people don't see, or, why certain decisions are made within a sport or within a business. Talk about mental health. We talk about, sacrificing, discipline, just a lot of life lessons, but we translate it to where the listener can understand where we're coming from and hopefully take some of those morals, values, and use them to further themselves in their career.
And I did want to ask this because I've wondered this for years. You're a part of one of the most iconic clips in sports of this last decade. Max Kellerman saying the fate of the universe on the line, Martian death beam pointed at the earth, I want Iguodala. What was your reaction to that? I've always wondered.
Initially, it was really funny, but I know Max well, and I understood where he came from. I made some pretty big shots throughout my career, whether I was in Philly or in Denver, with Warriors, or even in Miami. Every team I've been with, I feel like I've had some big moments that have pushed my team to the winning side. And all that's just from the work that I put in. I practice as if I made my practice and my training harder than the game. So when I got in the game was pretty easy. It moved in slow motion. And so I prided myself on that. And Max and we were able to build a relationship prior to him saying that. And I think he had a great respect for me and what I've been able to accomplish over my career in those special moments.
So right now, Martian death beam pointing at the earth, you making the shot?
For sure. Right now, I think I still got a little bit. I have to remind my son that I can still play, and he's still surprised of how dominant I am against him. But he's getting good. I have to play against him for real now, so I'm looking forward to the day he almost beats me and I quit.
There's been a lot of talk lately whether your jersey would be retired with the Warriors if they extended that invite. If they haven't already, what would that mean to you?
Yeah, that just sounds like a very, very special moment, and hopefully I can enjoy it in the moment. I tend to look ahead, and I'm always looking for my next goal, and I don't get a chance to really bask in my accomplishments. And maybe that's the humble side from my parents and my grandmother. But I think that's something that my kids, hopefully they enjoy. And that's a very rare thing that we aren't seeing happen as much with some of the movement that goes on in professional sports with trades and, teams trading players. You don't have a player with a franchise longer than, 5, 6 years anymore. I think the Warriors are the last of that breed. Wembanyama, those special talents are the last ones left. And so that'd be an amazing experience that, hopefully I'm around to participate in.
I will ask while I have you. Your former team made a big trade today. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Change the complexity of the West with James Harden going to the Clippers. I think it's great for the NBA, actually, in terms of who has the real shot at winning the championship. Out West, you got 5 or 6 teams. You can never count on LeBron. You can't count out Steph. Clippers now in the fold. Denver, obviously, defending champs. You can throw another team or two in there. The Kings had a great year last year. If they can continue to build off their success, that's 4 or 5 teams legitimately having a shot out West. And then in the East, it's still Boston and Milwaukee looking to be head and shoulders above the rest. But you never know what could happen. And football has that dynamic year in, year out. You don't know who's going to win it. And I think it's interesting to see how the NBA and the fan base will respond to it being up for grabs this year.
And then you want to ask, like, what, as you look back on your career, what do you want people to remember most about it? Like, is it your 4 championships with, like, the Warriors, or, you know, your elite days with the Sixers, or, like, what could you kind of want people to remember most?
More than anything, longevity. You know, I was able to have success in different roles throughout my career, being able to adapt and adjust. And I think that's just naturally what my game was. You know, they call me a Swiss Army knife, do a lot of great things on the court, whether it be passing, rebounding, defending, scoring when I have to, and making the most out of every situation. I look back on my career, and that's how I define my career. You know, no matter the year, or the team, or the roster makeup, if you gave us a realistic goal to start the year, I feel like we always met it or exceeded it. As regardless if we've made the playoffs or not. You know, I feel like we always exceeded our win count or won the championships. You know, look at the 14-15 team. If you go back, look at the odds maybe in the preseason, I'm not sure where we were, but, you know, I'm pretty sure we weren't top 3 or 4, you know, and then what we were able to do with that team, you know, really kind of boosted my level of the recognition that I was able to receive from others as well.
And I just want to wrap this all up with a few just fun questions to ask you. Feel free to go in length or just keep it short. I believe I've seen Steph answer this question, but would you trade 2 of your titles for a title the year of the 73-win season?
So I would have 3 instead of 4, and we would win it.
But you'd have the 73-win title.
But will we get Kevin Durant?
I don't know.
So that would be interesting. That's a good question. If I was guaranteed to have 3 to trade that one in, no, I'll take it how it came. Pause. But I think I'll take the 4. I'll always take the 4. No, there's learning lessons and losses.
Okay. During your career, who was one of the hardest players to guard or just kind of gave you the most trouble?
Hardest players to guard, Carmelo Anthony and Kobe Bryant. Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Yeah.
What title was most special for you?
The first one, definitely.
Okay. All right. And then if suited up for a high school basketball game today, how many points would you score?
Right now?
Yeah.
I haven't touched the ball in like forever, since the last game of the year, and I lost like 10 pounds. I'm skinny, but the game's easy to me. I don't know. I'll score a lot, 50 points. It'd be easy.
All right, and then finally, who's on your Mount Rushmore of basketball?
Mount Rushmore basketball. 4 guys, right?
Yes.
MJ, Kobe, Steph, LeBron.
Thank you for watching the full interview with Andre Iguodala. For more on sports here in Central Illinois, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube page and follow me on Twitter @DanteFurco for all of the latest.